don't waste your time with us. In all honesty, go establish on the mainland directly.
I'm sure you are meeting a lot of businesses, brands, founders who are still confused about mainland versus free zone. So, at the core, if you really have to make them understand what a free zone is, what a mainland is, and in what cases you would recommend choosing a free zone, and what are those specific cases wherein mainland becomes a mandatory requirement. So, let's drill it down.
The person's choice. It's the
It's a
company's.
business decision,
It's a
right?
business decision,
Yeah.
and based my career over the last God knows how many years on really trust and honesty. So when I tell people whether they're looking at, say, Faisal, should I go for mainland or should I go for free zone?
Yeah.
See, not all free zones are created equally. Very roughly, you have designated and non-designated
Yeah.
free zones. Designated and non-designated is within a tax authority perspective. Designated zones means that they are custom bounded, means that restriction or the movements in and out of those zones are restricted, which means there are customs and tax implications with regard to that. So those are designated zones. So you have, for example, Dubai Airport Free Zone DAFZA, you have JAFZA, which is Jebel Ali Free Zone Authority, you have Dubai South, and then you have Dubai Commerce City as well, at least within Dubai. That means that those are gated and their movement of goods are monitored and are restricted. And then you have non-restricted or non-designated zones, I should say, such as, for example, DMCC, Internet City, Media City, D3, etc. At the end of the day, whether the client was to go for mainland or free zone, I would tell them, where is your core business? Is your core business or is your main customer base in the UAE and in Dubai? If it is a yes, then I tell them, guys, don't waste your time with us. In all honesty, go establish on the mainland directly. Because if you're going ultimately to your end user and the entirety of your product or a catalog is going to them, then there's no need to be within a free zone, especially a designated zone.
Makes sense.
Right? Then it comes down to whether should I go for a non-designated zone or a mainland. Now, this is where there is a difference. Free zones in the past or traditionally, especially if you look at the older free zones, jobs, etc., these guys, when they were established 45 years ago, they came about with a certain set of advantages that people can avail. One of them was, for example, 100% foreign ownership. However, the laws in the UAE have definitely changed. Economic policies have been much more liberalized, so now you can establish your businesses directly. So then I tell people, okay, fine. At the end of the day, non-designated free zones and mainland, it comes down to clusters.
Okay.
So, for example, if you are in fashion, if you are in the creative field, if you are in design, then it would make more sense to go, for example, to a likes of a D3. If you are in e-commerce and digital commerce, you would obviously come to, for example, us in Dubai Commerce City.
Yes.
If you are, for example, in commodities trading, you would go, for example, to DMCC.
DMCC.
Finance, you go to DIFC,
DIFC.
etc. So it falls within the clusters. Now, what makes that important is that a lot of businesses tend to find value add by being in the cluster. Just by, if for nothing else, osmosis. Just you being in the very environment means that you will gain value out of it.
Absolutely.
Whether it is the value network that you work with, you're going to have your suppliers, your vendors, your customers that are going to be within close proximity.
Yeah.
A talent, for example. So you have many companies, for example, that are in the same field that makes the talent pool a lot larger because you're within close proximity.
Yeah.
The regulator or the authority in that zone is obviously geared specifically towards that industry. So that means that their regulations, their improvements, their advantages, etc., are going to be geared towards that. So, for example, in Dubai Commerce City, we try to build out the infrastructure around it. So it's not just a matter of here's your lease, here's your license, and see you later. It's a matter of like, how can we not help only have your business survive, but thrive and grow, right? So it's these things that are very important.
Yeah.
So it comes down to cluster management ultimately.
Sure.
And then ultimately to be within the zone, or to be, I should say, within the cluster, means that you see a lot of different pieces of the puzzle that you are. So let's say you are a small company today, and maybe your horizon compared to where you eventually end up is quite limited.